Well, I have a really good class today that has really been helping with the core strength. I took Doug Keller's training a couple weeks ago and have been practicing what he taught us. It was a lot about the psoas muscle, which is that muscle that connects the trunk to the leg. And it's usually just described in two different parts, the psoas, which starts in the lower back area, runs through the pelvis and attaches to the inner thigh bone, the femur, and then the iliacus, which kind of runs along the inside of the pelvis, starts on the backside, runs on the inside, and attaches at the same place. So together they form a complex called the iliopsoas. And you can't really feel it, you can't palpate it, but if it's out of whack, you know it. So we're going to play around with lengthening that, releasing that, checking for imbalances on that, and also strengthening the structures around that, because that's what you really need to do to get the iliopsoas to work at its best. So we're going to be working on our core, which will hopefully help with any lower back issues you have, because if the iliopsoas is off balance, it can throw your back off. You know, if the hamstrings are overly tight, it can pull on the lower back too. Now, if you have structural issues with discs or bulging discs or herniated discs, spondylothosis, where you have narrowing of the canal, that's another ball game. That's structural, and that's what you need. And for osteoporosis, you need to be mindful of not forward folding too far, not twisting too deeply, and just paying attention to all those sensations that are giving you warning signs, right? So with that being said, I do love this practice, and it takes a lot of focus, and it takes a lot of attention and self-awareness of that core. So if you remember how to find your deep belly muscle with that Queen's cough, that's like my favorite way of doing it, because if you put your hand on your belly and you do a little Queen's cough, the muscle will bounce gently into your hand, and when you and you hold that, like hold on to it, you'll know you're engaging the deep abdominal muscle, the transverse abdominis that wraps all the way around your core. And your core is the whole trunk of your body, not just the front or the back. So we'll be working all the core. We'll be working the back, the front, and the side body, and the obliques that run diagonally. Okay. And that's a lot of stuff. So I want to just, it kind of goes with what we were talking about today, is just read your poem to get transitioned. Okay, so just take a few breaths in while I'm reading this from one of our favorite authors, Mary Oliver, and it's called The World, and it's from her book, Why I Wake Up Early. It's called This World. I'd like to write a poem about the world that has in it nothing fancy, but it seems impossible. Whatever the subject, the morning sun glimmers it. The tulip feels the heat and flaps its petals open and becomes a star. The ants bore into the peony bud, and there is a dark pinprick well of sweetness. As for the stones on the beach, forget it. Each one could be set in gold. So I tried with my eyes shut, but of course the birds were singing, and the aspen trees were shaking the sweetest music out of their leaves. And that was following by, guess what? A momentous and beautiful silence that comes to all of us in little earfuls if we're not too hurried to hear it. As for spiders, how the dew hangs in their webs, even if they say nothing or seem to say nothing. So fancy is the world, who knows, maybe they sing. So fancy is the world, who knows, maybe the stars sing too, and the ants and the peonies and the warm stones, so happy to be where they are on the beach instead of being locked up in gold. The wonder of the world, the wonder of the cicadas, the bugs, the rats, the flowers, the peonies, the tulips, all the stuff that's in bloom right now, just the wonder of us, the wonder of our body, the wonder of our psoas, the wonder of our TA, the wonder of our core, the wonder of everything. Just, it's just a miracle that it all works. So with that just sense of wonder today, let's come to our practice and just be open and curious about what our practice has to offer us today. not locking us in gold, but being open to the sun, being open to what is, our own little gems inside of us, our own little singing hearts, our singing core, our singing brain, everything. A beautiful breath as we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. The wonder of the breath, miracle of the oxygen as it nourishes each and every tissue, creating such an alive sense in our body, that life prana. So breathe in that beautiful life prana, energizing your body, energizing your tissues. Draw it in, drink it in a little bit more deeply. Allow the belly to soften and round so that chest can expand even further. Let those side ribs expand where the diaphragm attaches. So as you take that breath in, the side ribs will go out side to side, making even more space. And as you exhale, just letting go. The beautiful miracle of that automatic breath, breathing in, breathing out. The belly softens and rounds, the side ribs expand, invite the chest to broaden. 3-part Dirga Pranayama. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I'm grateful for my body. Breathing out, I'm so grateful for what it can do for me every single day. More lovely deep breaths in, full breath out. And come back to your normal, natural breath. Bring the hands to the heart and set an intention for class today. What do you wonder most about? What piques your curiosity? What makes you just kind of giddy with curiosity and wonder and awe? And you can practice with that in mind. So everything you do today, just pay attention to it and just be in awe that your leg can lift, that your shoulders can rotate. Even if it's not exactly how it used to be, it still does it. There's beauty in that. Now let's send these intentions out to the universe so they all unite together in that wonderful place of wonder, wherever that is. So take a full breath out, full breath in. Bow your head to your beating heart. Lower your hands down to your thighs and blink your eyes open. Roll the shoulders around a few times. Pay attention to the front and the back body. So as you curl the shoulders forward, feel the ribs kind of collapse in. And then as you draw the shoulders back, feel them spread out and shoulder blades draw together. We'll be playing a lot with our shoulder blades and our chest today. Upper back, middle back, and lower back. And then roll the shoulders straight up to the ears. Hold them there for a moment and then gently lower them back down as you stretch the fingers wide and get a stretch across the top of the shoulders. And we'll do 3 ha breaths as we breathe in, shoulders up. Exhale with a anti-anxiety. Inhale. Let go of whatever's still dragging you down. Inhale. Just doesn't serve. Hands on the thighs, lengthen that spine. So press the feet into the earth and use that to grow the spine longer and taller. The peonies will be blooming soon, like those little ants crawl in. I hear they don't help them open, but for some reason it feels like they should. Lift the heart as if you are that peony bud. Invite the little ant to crawl in and turn the head over the right shoulder. Look over and take your eyeballs. See what's behind you. What miracles are behind you. A little snap, crackle, pop of the fascia of the neck. And back to center, another breath in. And exhale, look the other direction. Good. Tight today. And then back to center again. Lower the chin to the chest and sweep that chin over the right shoulder. Start to work the top of our spine, that neck, that cervical spine. Reach those left fingertips out and reach them as far as you can. And then with a full breath in, we're going to soften with the exhale. So inhale, and then exhale, soften that reach, soften that stretch, and just allow length between earlobe and shoulder, and invite a sense of stretching all the way from shoulder to fingertip. And then just open and turn that palm up and down, and just notice what you notice about the fascia of the forearm, the stretch of the forearm. Turning that palm up and down, rotating as far up the arm as you can with that movement. Good, and then bring that the fingers back to the thigh and rotate the chin back to center and take it over the other direction. Full breath in, soften those shoulders down as you reach those right fingertips out. As you take that full breath in, reach and lengthen, and as you exhale, soften into this. Just create some letting go of that tension and that burden we carry on our shoulders. Feel the stretch, the lengthening all the way down from shoulder to fingertips, and then slowly rotating that arm as much from the top of the shoulder as you can, palm facing up, and then back down again. Not hurrying through our practice, just really paying attention again to those sensations that we notice. So we know who and how we are in this present moment. We don't know who and how we are. We don't know how to move forward best for us. Good. And then bring that hand back to center, sweep the chin back to the chest and lift that head up. And then just do a little bobble, a little figure eight with the chin. Don't make yourself dizzy, but notice if you feel any more flighty joyfulness in that neck. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Woo, that did make me dizzy. Fingertips on the shoulders, rotate the elbows so that the shoulder sockets can get some attention as we grease up those synovial and bursa sacs in there. Big breath in, big breath out. Another breath, elbows all the way up, take them back and down, and draw the shoulder blades toward each other. And give a little press back a few times. Just press back, 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 back. Pay attention to the shoulder blades as they're starting to slide around the back ribs. Couple more, good. And then bring the palms together in front of your heart. Press the palms forward, stretch the arms, allow the arms to come away from the shoulder sockets, the head of the arm bone to come away from the shoulder sockets, and then turn the palms away from each other, thumbs down, and sweep the arms out to the side like you're doing a breaststroke. Take those arms back as far as they want to go that's comfortable for you. And let's do that a couple more times. So palms together, reach the palms forward, fingertips reach forward, head the arm bone slides away from the shoulder. Palms face away from you, shoulders are soft, stretch the arms out to the side, back, try to pretend like you're going to press your palms together. And one more time. Palms in front of you, fingertips pointing forward, shoulders are soft. Let's take a nice breath in here. And as you exhale, turn the thumbs down, sweep the arms back behind you. Just pause here for a moment. Lift the heart just a little bit. Soften the shoulders down. Take your eye gaze up. Big stretch across those shoulders. And then come back to neutral. Now, can we take those arms up overhead into a sun breath? Inhale as the arms reach up overhead. And find the length in your spine. So press the feet into the earth, sitting bones into the chair, and then reach a little bit longer, a little bit taller. Find that beautiful alignment as those vertebrae stack. Draw the belly in and up, draw the ribs toward each other. Feel that strength in the core, already starting to bring some attention and awareness to the core. Turn the palms down, lower the arms down. Good, 2 more of those. Inhale, belly draws in and up, ribs knit toward each other. Imagine you're crocheting the ribs toward each other. Really squeeze those ribs in and lower back down. Hard to take a big breath that way. One more inhale. And exhale. Hands on the knees. Slide the knees, hands over the knees to come into cat pose. So round that back body, feel that full flexion of the spine. Nice C shape of the spine, chin draws toward the chest, shoulder blades separated from the midline. Pause here for just a moment. And lengthen your spine back up, slide the heel of your hand towards your hips, lift the head, lift the heart, elbows draw toward each other. Take that nice gaze up. Don't crunch the lower back, but lift from the breastbone. You're shining that peony bud forward. That's my favorite flower. It's an Indiana state flower. Being a Hoosier, I really love those. All right, slide the hands. I should say the black-eyed Susan, but I've only seen a couple of those in bloom so far. As you inhale, lift the heart back up. Everybody's got a favorite flower. I'd love to know your favorite flower. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. My husband thinks my favorite flower is the tulip, so I'm always getting tulips, and I'm not going to complain. One more, exhale, round. And inhale, lift. They're represented to be strong stalks. And then back to neutral. All right, take your feet out a little bit wider. We're going to do our crescent just slightly differently. And take your left hand to the side of the chair holding on. Right hand's going to come to goalpost. Roll the shoulder back and turn the palm facing you. And then as you root down through that left side crescent toward the left. Now just pay attention first to the side body. So you're not turned in, the heart is lifted, shining that bud forward. And then lift up from the ribs to the hips to the ribs. And then slowly start to stretch the arm up towards the sky. If it's open to doing that. Head and neck stay in alignment, so don't droop the head. And then maybe the upper arm comes in line with the ear. If that's not going to feel good for you, keep the arm at goalpost, palm facing your ear. All right, now use your core strength. See if you can let go of the chair. Use your core strength to lift back up, and we'll go to the other side. So hold on to the right, left arm comes to goalpost, roll the shoulder back. So you're sliding that shoulder blade down the back body. Palm faces the ear. Root down through this right side and crescent over. Soften that right shoulder down, head and neck in alignment. Really working the spine, trying to not twist, but keep a nice lateral tick-tock. Maybe the arm lifts up overhead, only if it's right for you today. And up over upper arm in line with the ear. That looks beautiful, guys. Really lovely alignment. Good. And then see if you can let go. If not, use the strength of your arm to help up. But if you can use your side body to lift back up, that's going to strengthen those oblique muscles, that QL. Roll the shoulders back. All right, now for our gentle twist today, we're going to do extended side angle pose. So take your feet nice and wide and come forward in your chair. Bring your, let's start on this side. So bring your right hand to your, do I want to do that? No, I want to do this side. Put your left hand on your hip. Roll the shoulder back so the elbow points back behind you. Keep the spine long and tall. So you're going to hinge from your hip, not collapse into your side body. So hinge from your hip as you bring your right forearm onto your thigh and make a fist with your hand so you know that that arm is active. You want to roll that shoulder back and press the forearm into the leg into the arm to keep that side body lifted. Good. Rotate slightly so the heart shines forward, maybe even a little towards your left knee. All right, now you can stay here or come to goalpost with the palm facing your ear, or reach the arm up overhead, or bring the upper arm in line with the ear. This is extended side angle. A little bit different type of twist. Supported twist though, you're really pushing that right forearm into the thigh. All right, bring the hand back down to the hip. Right hand presses into the thigh, helps lift you back up. And then do some circles with your torso to realign, stretch out, get the shoulders involved. In both directions. Nice. And then we'll go to that other side. Anybody okay? All right. Right hand on the hip, elbow presses back. Left hand make a fist. And then lengthen up through the spine. Hinge from your hip and bring that left forearm onto your thigh. Press that into your thigh to lengthen your spine up. Draw that core in and gently twist toward the right. You can stay right here or bring that right arm at goalpost, palm facing your ear. or stretch that arm up slowly up toward the sky, and maybe the upper arm comes in line with the ear, which may be right here, which is perfect. Or keep the hand on the hip with the elbow pointing back. The intention of this pose is to really engage the core and use that to help you rotate slightly to the right. Good. All right, rotate back to center, place your left hand on the thigh, lift back up, and then just make a couple circles again and grab your block while you're at it. Maybe grab both blocks. We're going to do a wide forward fold. So you'll want to use the stack of weights for however high you want it. It could be a T, it could be an L. So you decide. If you have the osteoporosis, please make it a T, an I, or an L, whatever this is. All right, hands on the thighs, lengthen, draw the belly in, hinge from the hip, and bring the hands onto the block. Press the hands into the block and use that to draw that belly in and up, roll the shoulders back, head and neck are in alignment. Now, if you feel like you can hinge forward a bit more because your spine will allow for that because it doesn't have osteoporosis, just give a little bend to the elbows and press back up. Keep that belly drawn in. So you're using your core strength to lift and lower, less of the hands, more of the core. Couple more. Feel that core working. Two more. And last one. Good. Beautiful. All right, let's move the blocks to the side and scooch forward in your chair. So we're on the edge of the chair. Okay. Now, I want you to just not pay attention to your core and just kind of lean back and forward. Just rock back and forth and notice what you notice about how your spine is reacting. Are you rounding a little bit more? Are you crunching into it? What do you notice about this, this little movement side to side? Do you have any discomfort in the core arena? What's going on? All right, that is an unengaged movement, right? You're just moving. So when you go to engage, or when you go to pick something up off the floor or pick up a package, you have to be mindful and remember to engage the core in order to support the spine. Because when I do this, I feel a little tug in my lower back, just because it's the way I'm built and of the issues I've had with my back. But if I engage, so now we're going to draw that belly in and up, do your Queen's cough. Knit the ribs together. So think about drawing the ribs toward each other. Really get that core strong. You're not going to be able to take a deep breath like this because you're really tight and toned in there. And then start to hinge forward and back really slowly. Keep maintaining that and see if you notice any difference in hinging forward and back. If you lift up with the spine, press the feet into the earth, really engage, engage, engage. This is a lot of work here. I'm like ready to let it go in a second because it's hard work. And then release that and notice that difference. Okay, so just a mindfulness cue to always keep toned before you do any type of lifting the lower legs or whatever. All right, so which is why we don't need to move real fast today. Okay, so we're going to start with a couple of options here where if you already, even being toned, you had discomfort in your back, you're going to sit back in the chair a little bit, let the backs of the chair support your lower back, use a block behind your lower back to support your lower back, do something that's not going to irritate your, that's going to support you so you don't irritate your lower back. If you didn't have that and you can sit forward, you're going to continue to build even additional strength. All right. So we're going to start by just doing a heel toe tap really slowly, trying to lift the knee up, tapping the heel to the earth. All right. But we're doing this with engagement, right? So that core is drawn in, the ribs are knit toward each other. It's doing a nice heel toe. Maybe you're holding on, maybe you're not. If you're able to, let the arms swing back and forth with this. Two more. And you should feel a little bit of tension building up in the hip flexor. in that psoas region, last one, as well as maybe a little bit in the core. All right, just take a minute to notice. And we're going to try the other side. We're going to look for imbalances. So see what you notice about this side. Make sure that core is engaged before you initiate movement. And it doesn't have to be like tight. It just needs to be, you need to be aware that you're tapping into the core. Now, do you notice one side floats a little bit more easily? Maybe one side feels like a ton of bricks and the other side feels light and airy. That's good awareness for you. Last one. Good. And release. All right, shake that out. Okay, next one, we're going to just lift and march. So get the core ready, and you may be leaning back, you may be holding on, you may be bring the fingertips across the shoulders with the elbows lifted. Draw that core in, engage, and lift that right knee up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Trying to hold it for 5 seconds. Flex that foot, lift and spread the toes, and lower. All right, shift the weight to the other side, lift. And I get a little fatigue in these hip flexors. So use more of the core if you can. Really try to engage that transverse abdominis muscle. Lift. See if you can get the knee a little higher. Now, any twinging in your lower back, you're going to support your lower back with a block, with the chair. You're going to lean back into the chair. One more this side. Good. All right, lower back down, swing the arms down. Take a breath in, reach arms forward or all the way up. Inhale here, lengthen, draw that belly in. So get the core ready, get it ready. Slowly lower the arms, lift the knee, slowly in slow motion. Keep the core strong, nothing changes. The back should stay the same. And then lower the foot down, reach the arms up overhead. And other side. So engage first, draw that belly in, knit the ribs together, slowly start to reach the arms forward, lift the knee. And again, if you need to lean back, you need to hold on to the chair, hold on. If you need to support your hands under your legs, do that as well. Good, one more each way, lengthen, draw that belly in. Full breath in as you exhale. Allow that breath to go all the way from the ribs to the hips. Let it relax, but still stay engaged and elegant there. Lower that back down. And last one. Full breath in. Exhale, lower, raise the knee, lower the arms. What's happening? Are you leaning back? I noticed I'm leaning back a little bit. So we're trying to keep that spine straight and not change anything from the way we were when we were getting that elegance of the spine lifted up. Feet are flat on the floor. Palms together, and lower the hands down to the heart. Okay. All right, now we are going to lean back in the chair, get some support in the lower back. We're going to give our back a little bit of rest. And we're going to bring the knee in toward the chest and extend the leg long. Knee into the chest, extend it long. Here we're working on strengthening more of the quads and the hip flexor. Take it out of the back for a minute. 2 more. Need to keep those quads strong. Last one. Other side. Knee into the chest and extend. And again, do you notice a difference between the legs? Does one feel a little more ready to go and the other one's like a little more resistant? 2 more. And 2. Good. And lower back down. Just take a moment to give those hip flexors a little rest. Okay, now take your feet nice and wide. Come forward in the chair. And we're going to work the oblique muscles a little bit, the ones that run diagonally that help to support the core. So interlace your hands, reach them forward. Take a full breath in, find that length in your spine. TA, get that core engaged. And we're going to sweep those arms over to the right inner aspect of the right knee. And you're going to press your knee into your arms and your hands into your knee. Pretend like you're trying to twist deeply to the right, but your arms are preventing you from doing that. Like you would be going like that if your arms weren't there. So you're creating a resistance And this is working those oblique muscles on the side body. This is what's going to give you your waistline. And we hold it for 10 seconds and then come back to center. Feel the release of that. All right, draw that belly in and up, get tall. And then gently a little twist to the left and bring those that fist, the inner aspect of that knee. Press the leg into the arms and the arms into the legs. The arms are active and engaged. The core is engaged. Everything's working here. This is not a cakewalk. Woo. And do it one more time each way. So reach, come for center. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to the inner thigh, inner knee. Gentle, gentle twist to the right. Press the leg into the fist into the legs. Create that resistance. Spine should be long. You shouldn't be bending into it. All right. And last one, inhale and exhale, other side. Pressing, pressing, pressing. Good. And release. Walk the feet in. Remember Jack LaLanne? I remember my mom used to watch Jack LaLanne do the exercises. And I think it was, I don't know if it was him, but it was always a commercial on where they would get in that belt and it would shake you. And I always thought that looked like fun, but I never understood what it did, even as a young kid. A couple cat-cows here just to kind of get the spine moving again. And then a spinal release. So bring the elbows on the thighs, fingertips in Hakini Mudra, and allow the belly just to soften completely. And notice if you feel a big release in the lower back, you can even breathe. Use your exhalation just to soften that back body. Okay, one more breath. Good. Am I doing okay? All right, press back up. Good. Good. Got some thumbs up. Sit, stand. All right. So sit, stand is always in the program here. So feet are behind the knees. Take special awareness today to your core. So draw that belly in, knit those top ribs toward each other and get that upper core. Even if you want to think about like you'd isometrically be squeezing the legs together, that'll get the pelvic floor and the lower belly. So all of that engagement is going to make it easy to pop up. So hinge forward, press the feet into the floor and come to standing. Just take a moment to like, did you feel that? Little release of that. Now re-engage the core, shift the weight to the heels of the feet, sit down really slowly without a plop. Learning to sit down without a plop, and you just do this a few times, is really important because if you sit down with a plop heavily and with force, you really increase your risk of, if you have low bone density, of compression fractures. I was looking at my mother-in-law's MRI results. She has 3. I told you that before. And the risk of getting an additional compression fracture or wedge fracture of your vertebrae is to have one already. So she's got to be just so careful the way she sits down on surfaces too. So you want to learn how to sit down gingerly. Just do a couple more. And the only way you can do that is by keeping your legs strong, right? So that you don't plop down. You have to have that control of your legs. And if your knees are bothering you, putting a block between your thighs will help to support the muscles that support the knees. But if you have to, putting the hands into the chair, coming more to like a little L pose here, and then putting the hands on the thighs and pressing up. Did you see? I'm going to do that one more time. Hands are on the chair. I'm going to hinge forward a lot, push my feet into the floor, push my hands into the chair, lift my butt up, knees are bent, hands come onto the thighs, and I press up from there. That's another option too. Okay. All right. Do a little loose coat sleeves. Let's just get yourself situated. And put your chair over on your right side. Sorry about that. Oh, now this will help. Oh, boy, I feel that. Breathe in and breathe out. Release that lower back. Take the breath so it helps to release that lower back. So my lower back, you know, I had a microdiscectomy from a herniated disc at L4. And I'm pretty much all back to normal, but there's still that little bit of residual stickiness and ickiness that we always have to be mindful. So anything you can do to avoid having to do that, we'll keep practicing and working. Okay. So find your mountain pose that feels good for you, and bring the mound of the big toe onto the earth and lift and spread your toes. All right, let's get that arch lifted up. Lift and spread your toes. Lift the arch up and put a little bit of energy into the mound of the little toe and the outer heel. Can you do that? And you'll feel your legs just really engage, and then slowly spread those toes down forward. Woo. All right, feet are connected to the earth. Soften the knees. Lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders up, palms face forward. All right. Now isometrically squeeze your legs toward each other. Get that pelvic floor, lower belly. Remember the hip points drawn together. So crank. We're gonna pretend like we have a crank that we can bring our hip points toward each other. That's gonna engage that lower belly. Feel the lower belly working. Draw the belly in gently toward the spine. Don't force it, just a little tone. And then a little bit of drawing the ribs toward each other and back. Woo, that core is like solid. Take the arms out to the side. Keep the core stable and not moving. Reach the arms up overhead. And lower the arms down. Everything's still active. Those legs should be super strong. That core is not moving. This in and of itself is a core strengthener. And exhale, last one. You're not going to be doing super duper yoga breathing, but you are going to be able to breathe. Lower the left hand down, crescent over. So lift up from hip to rib. So press the feet into the earth and use that to anchor you to open up through hip to rib. Good. Stay on this side. Do 2 more with your side body muscles. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crescent. Trickle those fingers down towards your left heel. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crescent. Work those side body muscles. Good. Both arms reach up overhead or to goalpost. Don't compromise your shoulders by trying to reach the arms up if they don't go. You want to stay at goalpost. Keep that tailbone lengthened down and the spine in one nice alignment. And then crescent over the other direction. And reach those fingertips down toward the earth. And then 2 more up and down. Lift and lower. If the hand needs to stay on the hip for support, do so. Last one. Reach both arms to your level of comfort. Hands down to the heart and pause. Good. Okay. Let's do a little bit of heart lifting. All right, work the thoracic spine just a bit. So want to support the lower back. So this standing camel has nothing to do with your lower back, except you don't want to injure it. All right, it all comes from the thoracic spine where the ribs are attached. If you can reach somewhere behind your back on the top of the pelvis, all right, you're gonna get your fists as close to the outer edges of your spine as possible, not on top of it, but on the outer edges. That's where these erector spinae muscles and multifidus muscles are. So you want to make a little fist if you can. Soften your knees. Press the fist in and up. In and up. And elbows press back. That's going to support and until those muscles get to work. And then lift from your heart space. Just lift as if you're trying to shine your heart forward a little bit more. Take your head back just slightly. Don't kink your head back. Just lift the chin slightly and lift the heart space, elbows press back. The lower back should not be taking any burden. And then release that. Ooh, okay, that's coming from the heart space. So now let's do warrior 1, trying to use that same openness of the heart. So hands on the hips. Left toes go out to the 45 degree and step your right foot forward. Nice wide base, gentle bend to the front knee. Weight is balanced on both feet. Hips are going wherever the knees feel safest. All right, can you come back to that support of the lower back? So press in and up, and then lift from the heart space slightly. Press in and up. Get those erector spinae muscles to say, oh, okay, you want me to do some work today. One more breath and release. That is essentially a back bend. Then come back up off that back toe, do-si-do to the back of the mat. And we'll go to the other side. So right toes go out, left foot comes forward. You know the drill, equal bearing on both feet, hips go where the knee feels safe, wide base of support. All right, roll the shoulders back. Pause here for just a moment. Notice how the spine and back feel. Get connected, and then support the lower back. Press in and up so it's right above, right, sits right on top of the pelvis, but not on the bone. You want to get into the deep muscle, in and up. And then lift that heart space. Good. Support that lower back. Open up through the mid-thoracic spine. One more breath. And release that. Step the back foot forward. Shake it out. Okay. All right, let's stretch out the lumbar, the whole back now in an L pose. So hold on to the back of your chair or whatever prop you have and step your feet back, bend the knees a lot, bring the upper head between the upper arms and just allow that stretch to happen. Oh, that feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, is your belly just dangling? Can you draw the belly in and up? Knit those ribs together, get the core strong. And then when you engage the front body, you'll help to relax the back body, just like a bicep tricep would be, right? Engage the front body, relax the back body, let it stretch and lengthen. One more breath here, and then slowly walk the feet forward. Good. Shake it out. Okay, I like to do a little forward folding. So if you want to turn your chair or use your blocks or use the back of the chair, totally up to you. But we're going to do a lot of, we're going to bend the knees a lot, let the belly rest on the thighs for support, and then slowly just straighten the knees. So it's going to be a little bend and straighten routine. Okay. All right, you might just get a micro straighten, that's okay. Find your beautiful mountain pose, lift the heart, and then soften your knees a lot, hinge from your hip crease, start to bring the hands to the back of the chair, the seat of the chair, the blocks, bend the knees even more and let the belly rest on the thighs. Nice little massage for the colon. Feel the breath as you breathe in, the belly presses into the thighs. Then try to keep the spine long where it is and just slowly start to press the top of the thigh bone back as you straighten the knees a little bit. So that lengthen the hamstrings. We haven't done much hamstring stretch yet, so go easy. Exhale, bend the knees a lot. Let the belly rest on the thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Two more. Exhale, bend. Every time you bring that belly on the thighs, really bring more length to your spine. Try to maintain that length. Don't round the back. Last one. Good. Keep the knees bent. Press the hands into the thighs and lift back up to standing. Reach the arms overhead. Gain more length in your spine. Palms together. Hands down to the heart. Good. All right. Let's work the lower body a little bit more now. So come to a goddess leg. So the feet are as wide or wider than the mat. Hands on the hips, elbows back. Lengthen your tailbone toward the floor and just take a bend to the knee. So everything's going straight down. Hands on the thighs or right at the psoas muscle. All right, little opening there. And then press the feet into the earth, come to star. Bend the elbows, palms face forward. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, come to goddess. And all good psoas work. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, dip. 2 more, breathe in, straighten the knees. And exhale, bend those knees. Last one, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Now bring your hands onto your thighs and bring shoulder, right shoulder to left knee. So now we're stretching what we call the quadratus lumborum muscle, the QL. So if that, you get a tight pull here, that's probably tight QL. Come back to center and go the other direction. This is a nice stretch you won't get unless you purposefully do it. One more time each way. Right shoulder to left knee in the direction of. Center, other way. And center, straighten the knees and heel toe walk your feet back to center. All right, the last standing pose we'll do, I'm going to turn the chair so I'm using the back of the chair. All right. Good. Okay. So we're going to shift the weight over to the balance prop side. Get the foot connected to the earth, lift and spread those toes. The weight is on the mound of the big toe, diagonally goes to the outer edge of the heel, and that's going to strengthen that leg. Lower the toes down. Slowly peel the opposite foot up, flex the foot, hold it if you need to. Take it out just a little bit without rotating the pelvis. So try to keep the pelvis where it is, just a little rotation of that knee out, maybe 45 degrees. Reach long with the knee, back to center. Can you extend the leg? Show me your foot. Knee in toward the chest. One more time, extend the leg, knee into the chest, and lower that foot down. Shake it out. Okay, holding on to the back of the chair, same leg. Step that foot back just a little bit into a little lunge. Now, here's your option. You're either going to step forward and lift the knee up, or you're going to make one full swoop. Use the strength of that leg to lift the knee up. Out to the side, center, press it forward, knee to the chest, and lower back down. All right, just one more time, okay? It's really working the core, working the hip flexor. You have options. You can just, instead of lifting the knee up, you can tap the foot forward, okay? All right, so step your back foot back, and then either tap or lift the knee up. Knee goes out to the side without rotating the pelvis. Back to center, extend the foot forward, knee back in toward the chest, hold on if you need to, and lower the foot down. Shake it out. All right, this is our last thing, and we'll get down on our backs. Lots of stuff, fun stuff to do there. Okay, ground your balance side. Lift and spread the toes, diagonal line from the mound of the big toe to the outer edge of that heel. Lower the toes back down. Peel that other foot up. Hold on if you need. Take that leg out to the side without rotating the pelvis. Back to center. Lower the foot down. Lift up, peel it up. Out to center. Out to the side, back to center. Extend the leg long. Knee back to the chest. Lower the foot down. Step the foot back. Doesn't have to be a big, deep lunge, just a little bit step back. You're either going to tap forward and lift, or you're going to sweep that knee up toward the chest, out to the side, back to center, leg goes forward, knee to the chest, lower down, shake it out. Last time. Step back, sweep it up, take it out, back to center, extend, bend, and release. Whew, shake it out. Very nice. Okay, now come down onto your back with your blocks nearby, okay? You're going to feel those hip flexors tomorrow. Trust me. Hopefully a little bit in the quads, hopefully a little bit in the core. All right, all goes together. Okay. Come to constructive rest. And just allow your spine to get reacquainted to this position. Feel the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. Maybe even your hands going behind your back to make sure you've got that little lumbar curve, that natural lumbar curve. You don't want a flat back, but a nice little lumbar curve, even pelvis. If you put a triangle from your pubic bone to your belly button, it should be level. It shouldn't be tilted forward or back too much. All right. Okay. This first thing we're going to do is core. It's psoas release and toning, but also affects the core as well. So first thing we want to do is knit those ribs together. So draw the ribs toward each other. All right. A gentle toning of the belly. Draw the belly in just a little bit. And then we're slowly just going to take that right leg, and with all that tone, slowly start to just slide the right leg down toward the earth. Arms are just down by your side. Slowly slide it down. Don't want anything else to move. And slowly slide it back up. Nothing should be moving. So much tone in the core. Let's go to the other side. Slowly slide. Shouldn't be shifting a lot. Really work that core to try to maintain that stability. Slowly slide that leg down. Slowly slide that foot back up. All right, and then take a break, and you notice the difference, right? Okay, we're going to try that again. So take a nice breath in. On the exhale, draw the ribs together, draw them toward each other, a little tone in the belly, and let that breath go all the way down to your waist to help release the lower back. Slowly slide that right leg down, maintaining all that beautiful tone. Slowly slide that right leg down. Press out through the heel of the foot and draw some energy into the inner aspect of your thigh, so your inner leg bone, where that psoas attaches. Just really see if you can't bring a little tone into that area. Now slightly externally rotate your leg, so your whole leg rotates out to the side just a little bit. So if your toes were pointing at 12, they're now pointing at about 1. Keep that tone in the core and slowly lift the leg up just a couple of inches and lower it back down. So we're just going to bounce it up and down without letting anything else move in the body. It's just leg movement. And if it doesn't want to go up, that's telling you something that we're going to start to build a little more strength in the psoas by practicing this. So try to get 1, try to get up to 10, a little external rotation, pressing out through the heel of the foot. You should feel that tone in that psoas area. All right, last one, lift and lower. Rotate the leg back to neutral, so the toes are pointing at 12 o'clock. All right, take a little break where we lift the leg back up. You feel that release in your back? All right, full breath in. As you exhale, draw the ribs toward each other. And with that exhale, slowly lift that knee back up so the feet are back at constructive rest. Release and let go, and just take a moment to notice. Notice what you notice about that. A lot of internal work, a lot of concentration and focus. So this is all kind of just embodiment work. All right, let's try the other side. So full breath in. As you exhale, knit those ribs together. Let that breath go all the way down to the waist. Slowly start to slide the left leg out. And then as you inhale, lengthen a little bit longer with that leg and really feel the line of the internal thigh engaged. And then externally rotate it just slightly. Take a break here for a sec. So we want to keep the core engaged. You can't keep it engaged all the time when you're building up. All right, so now take a breath in. Create some tone in those ribs and that torso, tone in the belly. Press out through the heel of the foot. And then if the leg's willing, lift and lower it gently just a few times. It's only going up a few inches. It's not going all the way up. That's a whole different muscle. You just want to lift it 2 to 3 inches. That takes discipline. It should not be going up high. And it's super, super work on that psoas muscle. And notice if the one side is taking a lot more effort than the other side. 2 more. Like I could do 10 on this one, but I can only do 4 on this one, something like that. That's information for you. Right, lower the leg back down, internally rotate it back to neutral, let it release. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, create that tone in your core. Knit those ribs toward each other and slowly slide the heel back up. Ooh. And then just rock the knees side to side. That should be work, okay? It's supposed to be work. All right, come back to constructive rest. Head is facing, nose is pointing toward the ceiling, and reach the fingertips toward the ceiling. Reach out, fingertips toward the ceiling, and then allow gravity to plug the head of the arm bone into the shoulders so they feel heavy. Now, if your arms didn't go over the top of your head when you were standing, take them out to the side, all right, out to shoulder height. But if they did, slowly, first we got to tone the core. So take a breath in, draw the ribs toward the midline, gentle tone to the belly, and then with that intact, that nice intact core, start to reach the arms up overhead super slowly, and you're trying to get them to go at the same speed. And what you want to identify is, does one hit the floor? Palms are facing the midline. Does one thumb touch the floor before the other one? That just gives you a little bit of information. All right, take a breath here. As you exhale, tone the core, draw the ribs together, slight tone in the belly, and slowly raise the arms back up. This is work, all right? You should be feeling this in your core, not just your shoulders. All right. Now, one more time, inhale, slide. If you feel like you can, slide the right leg down as you reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring the arms back up overhead, bring the heel back toward the left heel. Inhale. As you exhale, tone the core, reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, arms where they are. Big breath in. As you exhale, tone the core, slowly bring the arms back up, bring the heel back to neutral, lower the arms down, and find your block. All right. Now, what you're going to try to do, if you want to try this, if you know that you can't lay with your legs extended without your back hurting, don't do this. Just keep your knees bent. But if you're okay with that, bring the block between the feet. So it's on the ankles and the feet, and you're just going to lower the legs down. So the block is between your ankles and your feet are making contact with some part of the block, or enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you're trying to do is just create feedback so you can squeeze the feet, flex the feet, squeeze the ankles and the feet toward each other. Can you feel that engagement, especially in the inner thigh? And that's tapping into that psoas, and then release that and know the difference. All right. So here we're going to reach our arms overhead, not overhead, but fingertips towards the sky. Squeeze the block with the inside edge of your feet and your ankles. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maintain that nice neutral spine. And without letting the pelvis or anything move, we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, keep squeezing and draw those ribs together and reach the arms up slowly overhead. And here's where you're to notice, if when you reach your arms overhead, say that the right arm is slow and doesn't want to go, do you notice a shift in the left leg? Typically it's an opposite. Whatever shoulder isn't working the way you want it to, the opposite leg. All right, bring the arms back up. We're gonna try that one more time. So squeeze the legs, squeeze the feet into the block. Arms are reaching forward. Gravity's pulling the shoulders down. Full breath in. As you exhale, knit those ribs together. Keep squeezing the block and reach the arms up overhead. Notice if you feel any shift in your hips If you do, that typically means that side of the psoas is a little bit weak. And then slowly bring the arms back up, all the way down, and release. Take your time with that. And just take a second to notice what you notice. That should have felt like work. That did thumbs up, thumbs down if that felt like work. Yeah, yeah, that sort of, okay. All right. Okay, let's see what we have here. Good, plenty of time. All right, now bring the knees back up and push the heels into the floor and flatten out your lumbar spine. That's a posterior pelvic tilt, right? Release that and come to neutral. Press the heels into the floor, flatten down your lumbar spine. Maintain that posterior pelvic tilt, lumbar spine, and bring the left knee into the chest. Keep that posterior pelvic tilt so the lumbar spine is flat to the earth. If it feels right for you today, lift the right leg up to about a 45 degrees angle from the floor and just lift it up and down a few times. Little tiny movements, little tiny movements. So our lumbar spine is pressed into the earth, left knee is in toward the chest, and we're just bouncing that right foot a couple inches up and down. You can just hold it stable if that feels better. All right, lower that back down, both feet back down. Realign your spine, take the knees back and forth. Okay, nice breath in. As you exhale, press the heels into the floor, flatten out your lumbar spine, and bring the right knee into your chest. Keep that posterior pelvic tilt with a flat lumbar spine, and slowly lift the right leg up at a 45-degree angle, and slight bounces, little tiny bounces up and down. Nice and slow, no race here. All right, go ahead and lower that back down. Take a breath. All right, now I want you to isometrically slide your heels toward your head and notice how your lumbar spine lifts up into an anterior pelvic tilt. So your ribs and your hip bones spread away from each other. You got a big arch in your lower back. That's anterior pelvic tilt. And now release that. Come back to neutral. All right, slide your heels toward your head. Feel that arch of the back lift up and release. Now coming to bridge, bring your arms to robot arms. So you snuggle your shoulder blades under your back, palms face you. We're gonna do a little anterior pelvic tilt with our lift, our torso lift, our bridge. So slide your heels, isometrically slide your heels toward your head. Your chin should be parallel. So slide your heels toward your head and then press the backs of the arms and lift the hips and torso up off the earth. Shoulder blades snuggled under the back, a nice lift of the heart. So lift that heart space, that peony bud. Black-eyed Susan. Good, and release. Come to neutral spine. We'll do that one more time. All right, so slide your heels towards your head, press the backs of the arms into the earth, lift the hips and torso. If you remember last week, we were kind of trying to scrub our sacrum toward our head. That's the same type of thing. And release. Good, rock the knees back and forth. Take your arms out to a T and bring your left ankle over top of your right knee. Take a nice breath in as you use your muscle energy to press your left leg away from you to open up through the hip. Stay in a neutral spine here, not an anterior or a posterior pelvic tilt, neutral. Now we are going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt. So with your right foot, push your heel away from you and flatten out your lumbar spine. And press your left knee away from you even more, and you'll get an accentuated sensation in that left hip. Now, if you choose, rotate toward the right so your left sole of your foot comes onto the floor. Shoulders reach for the earth. Eye gaze looks over your left shoulder. Stretching that outer left hip. Now, if your core and lower back are okay, lift the contraption up. But if you're having tweakiness, undo your legs, uncross your legs, lift the top leg followed by the bottom leg to support the lower back a little bit more. Rock back and forth, and we'll go to the other side. So that right ankle goes over top of the left knee on the fleshy part. First, using your breath to press that knee away from you. And then press the heel into the earth, flatten out the lumbar spine, get into a little posterior pelvic tilt, feel an accentuated sensation in the right outer hip. I want you to see how you can get more sensation doing this. Typically, it's going to stretch the glute when you lift your foot up, but I'm really looking just for a little bit of an outer hip stretch. And then if you choose with the shoulders connected to the earth, rotate to the left so your right heel comes onto the floor. It's just a gentle supported twist. Look over your right shoulder. And then lift the whole contraption up or untangle your legs. Lift the top leg followed by the bottom leg and bring one or both knees into the chest and massage that lower back as you prepare for Shavasana. You may want to row your knees and row to Shavasana. Do whatever you need to do to settle into a lovely Shavasana. You've earned it today for sure. You always earn it. All right, take a moment just to notice the spine, the core, the shoulder blades, the obliques, the belly. Give it a little gratitude, a little wonder and awe for all that it did for you. Take a nice breath in, and this time as you exhale, instead of drawing everything in toward the midline and engaging, just invite a relaxation. Each vertebrae releasing, all the belly muscles softening. The whole body just relax into this space. I would like to write a poem about the world that has in it nothing fancy, but that seems impossible. And begin to come back into this beautiful, wondrous world with the breath. Take awe in the ability to wiggle fingers and toes. The amazement of rocking the head side to side. And the glory of being able to bring the knees in towards the chest and rock side to side, or keep the feet on the floor and rock those knees back and forth. You roll over onto your favorite side. And then just pause for a second, just in awe, the smile. What your body did for you today. What yoga does for you. And press the hands into the earth and come to a seat that's comfy for you. Bring your hands to your beautiful heart. Know that all the light and love that's in my heart honors that same light and love in each of yours. And I remember something I used to say when I first started practicing yoga, and I don't know where it went, but it's remember to live knowing you are beloved. Bow your head to honor your own practice and blink your eyes open and greet your Sangha with Namaste.